Architectural Builders Supply is pleased to present you with this recording of the technical question that is listed in the title of this video.
This call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance.
Did a YouTube video about this. Am I right? Have I got the right company?
We have made YouTube videos.
Okay. Is your name or is someone's name there Richard Howard?
Yes.
Okay. Is that you?
It is.
Okay.
What's the question?
Well, I have a door, an entry door that has a approximately 90 to 100-year-old mortise lock, and I've got to replace it. And I went out and I was at Home Depot and bought a Siegel mortise lock set. I don't know yet whether that's actually going to fit in the door. I'm trying to figure out whether or not there are different sizes, dimensions for these locks, and if so, obviously I've got to carefully measure the dimensions of the lock that I have to replace and then get a replacement lock. So I saw your YouTube video just now, and I decided to reach out to you and see if I could find out from you what I might be dealing with here in order to replace this 100-year-old mortise lock.
Well, I mean, you're dealing with something that's, you know, in the wake of World War I, so it's unlikely that you're going to find anything that's going to meet your requirements satisfactorily. It's just too old is the answer. So emailing me some photographs of the lock along with the dimensions, that will allow me to at least give you an idea of where I think you are in terms of a replacement.
Right.
You know, and I would anticipate having to, you know, buy a new mortise lock, you know, do a Dutchman, fill in all the holes, re-drill, but maybe not. Depends on what your dimensions are. Because 90, 100 years old is not that old when it comes to mortise locks.
Okay.
But it's also so old that it's going to be, you know, something that won't meet any sort of modern standard in terms of dimensioning.
Okay, that's what I was afraid of. So I have a feeling that the lock that I purchased, I'm not anywhere near the location where the apartment with this door and lock are. So I haven't had the opportunity to really make sure to determine whether or not it's the right size, but it looks to me to be a little smaller than what's in the door, so I don't think it's going to work out, and I'm going to need to reach back out to you after I get the lock in my hands and be in a position to take some photographs of it, as you just said, and give you the dimensions. Okay.
Yes, Siegel is a name. Siegel was a New York City detective, and he was extremely gifted in the world of locksmithing. Not only did he invent the lock that we all know as the Siegel lock, which is not the lock you bought, but he was also very gifted at, you know, getting into places through locks. Siegel is owned by a company called Primeline. Everything that they do is imported from Asia, and they do have locks that are like the original Siegel locks, but they also do have mortise locks. And I don't recall them well enough to know if it's a, you know, 100-year-old lock case where it's like 7-inch tall and a little skinnier, or if it's a modern size. My opinion is that it's an old, a smaller size. So it might work, but, you know, at the end of the day, this boils down to how much work is it going to take to make this perfect? The result of making it perfect is 100% possible. It just is a matter of how much work and money you want to invest into making this perfect.
Right. I understand. I think this lock, the Siegel lock that I bought at Home Depot, is actually smaller than the lock that was the original lock, and so I think I'm fairly certain that the dimensions are not going to be correct. And I understand what you're saying. I could fill in and do all those kind of things in order to make this lock work, but I think it would be a heck of a lot easier if this turns out that the original lock is a standard size, and I can buy one of the same dimensions, that would make my life quite a bit easier.
Yeah.
So,
is there a name on that original lock?
I think there is. I guess that there is, and I'm going to have to again have the lock in my hands in order to be able to give you that information. But that won't happen until I won't actually get to that location until tomorrow. So I probably won't be able to speak with you again until Friday. But I think that's what's going to happen. I'm going to be calling you back and asking you if it's a standard dimension, and can you do you have a product, or can you get me a product that will at the same size? So that's what I'll do. I'll plan on getting a hold of the lock and then trying to get back in contact with you on Friday morning, if that's okay.
It certainly is. I know that I'll be traveling tomorrow at about noon, and while I'll be in touch, I won't be at my desk, so it might be a situation where you'll be leaving me a voicemail. But rest assured, I'll call you back.
Okay, I appreciate that, but it won't be until Friday. I won't be able to reach you tomorrow. So,
yep.
All right. So
yes, sir.
I will do that. Thanks, Rich. I appreciate it. Oh, I have one other question.
Yeah.
I have another question for you. This lock, this is in a New York City apartment, by the way, and this lock has a cover plate over the cylinder on the outside of the door, as with traditional back in the 60s and 70s in particular in New York. And so there are bolts that go through the entry door, and those bolts are locked to the entry door with nuts. And I'm under the impression that there are covers that you can purchase that are made to cover the little bit of bolt that's exposed above the nut and the nut itself. Am I right about that? And do you carry that kind of thing?
You want to cover it on the inside?
On the inside, a decorative cover on the inside.
No, nothing comes to mind.
Okay, then I've got to make something. Okay. All right, very good. Thanks, Mike. I'll call you Friday.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Bye-bye. Architectural Builders Supply hopes you have enjoyed this program. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up. Please subscribe and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.